when I get approached by questions like these, it's hard for me to speak up as a filmmaker. It's going to take more than just, oh, I'm still trying, I'm still trying. It's like, dude, it's been over 15 years since film school. It's been over 30 years since you said that you want to pursue filmmaking. And yes, kudos for not giving up, but you're at that point where you gained all that experience. And now it's like, what are you doing with that experience?
Mark.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Jason Lore here with Jason Lore Photography and Films. For those of you guys who don't know, this is the podcast series, Real Talks with Filmmakers. So we're pretty much in season 2 right now. Last season, it was covering a bit of like basic stuff and a little bit of screenwriting, photography, and filmmaking. And this year, or this season, I should say, in 2025, I'm looking to just be super real with everybody based off of my experience on my pursuit of being a filmmaker, or in this case, a screenwriter. I'm gonna be real with you guys about that too. It's like some know me as a videographer, cameraman, photographer. But for those of you who don't know, and for those of you who still wonder, like, what is it that I truly do? It's all about writing. I loved writing ever since I was a little kid. I wanted to write novels, but eventually, I wanted to do more than just write a story where people can read it, but I want to also be able to see my stories, my characters, my worlds that I created come to life. And that's when I came to realize that I needed to pursue screenwriting. I still love writing to this day. And you know what? That's what truly makes me feel alive is my passion for writing stories and telling stories. It almost seems like the less I do that, I feel like a part of me is just dying like every day. So it's like if we have a chance to talk about stories and ideas, it's like, dude, we can talk all day about that. I mean, even for filming, photography, music, and what have you, if there's a story to be had about like any of those topics, like, shoot, we can talk about that all day. And one of the things that, always gets me going is just talking about the next story. And you know whenever I get a chance, if an idea pops up, I'm writing it down. If I don't write the story now, then I'll eventually get to it later. And if I don't capture that idea right then and there, then shoot, it's going to be lost. So I can't stress enough how tough it is to get into the film industries. And a lot of people say, well, if you haven't gotten into the film industries, what's there to even talk about? Like, what experience do you have? I've written scripts before. I've followed the formats. I've actually gone to film school and got a bachelor's degree in cinema. That was like 2010. It's 2025, and I still haven't gotten into the film industries. So, what does that tell you about, the the colleges, film school wise? Yeah, you can get access to like, filming equipment, but nowadays it's like if you know friends or if you know families or anybody who's willing to lend you their equipment just to try it out or just to, learn, what's the point of going to school and spending all that money on, all the colleges to learn? It's like that's real talks right there too. Is like just because you have a bachelor's degree that says, oh, you completed all the courses and you've, learned script writing, you learn, directing, editing, and what have you, that doesn't guarantee you a job or, work in the industries. Because when you approach a director, a producer, or someone on set and you tell them, oh, I have a degree in filmmaking, Okay, that's great. You can go away in line with the rest of the thousands of people who also have a degree. So, if that being the case, then why is it that when I presented myself as a filmmaker, a film student, a graduate of film school, why haven't I gotten the job yet? And I can guarantee you there's thousands of other people who are asking that same question. And I've been approached by many friends and families who ask me that question. It's like, hey, you got a film degree or no, a bachelor's degree in filmmaking. Why aren't you working in Hollywood right now? Or why aren't you working on movie sets and making movies or writing screenplays and getting paid for it? And on top of that, going to all these film festivals, it's like you won all these awards. Why haven't you gotten picked up yet? Why haven't you working as a full-time writer or filmmaker? So when I get approached by questions like these, it's hard for me to speak up as a filmmaker. It's going to take more than just, oh, I'm still trying, I'm still trying. It's like, dude, it's been over 15 years since film school. It's been over 30 years since you said that you want to pursue filmmaking. And yes, kudos for not giving up, but you're at that point where you gained all that experience. And now it's like, what are you doing with that experience? I mean, what has it even, benefited you? It's like something's got to give. And it's like after all that work that you put into like writing that screenplay or editing all these videos or putting them out there, it's like, why is it that you're still like on square one? It's like, what are these experiences even good for? But looking back at it right now, those experiences do actually, teach you something about not just how the film industries or how filmmaking works, the hardships and all that, but also tells you about your strengths and your weaknesses as a filmmaker. And also, if you've been paying attention to yourself, it's like it also teaches you of like, what can you do to benefit yourself and put yourself out there as a filmmaker. Because don't forget, everybody's different. Whether it be someone who is an attorney, artist, a musician, or in this case, a filmmaker, everybody's different. Everybody has their own craft, and it's up to you on how you're gonna showcase your skills, your art, and your passion to the world. And it's like just like I tell everybody too, is that don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid of the hate, the love, the obsession from everybody, because that's just how like every other job you've ever worked at is going to be too. There's going to be all of that. And it just comes down to how you present yourself and pay attention to how you present yourself and what the outcome and response or the reviews are coming from everybody else that takes what's coming from you and use what works and what doesn't work for you and what truly defines you as your own character of your own story. And so we're going to reach a lot of like all is lost moments. I'm not going to lie to you there. And that's truly a test of like just, okay, am I still going to keep going? And again, like when you look back to like all the experiences that you've gone through, it's like all the people that you've met throughout your journey in pursuing, this filmmaking life, there is still hope. I mean, for some people it comes really quick. For some other people it takes, years to finally reach that that goal or that light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, that's one of the reasons that keeps me going, is that looking back to the beginning of my journey of becoming a filmmaker and, all the people that I've met as far as like friends and other filmmakers out there on my journey through the film festivals and also film school. It's like, you know, that's what's keeping me going. That's what's pushed me out of that, all is lost moment. And, hopefully we finally reach that climax or that final act to where, you know, we make it big as, filmmakers. And it's interesting too is like just what I just talked about right now. If you guys didn't catch it, was basically the hero's journey. And that's the one thing that a lot of people need to take a look at themselves is, we are the heroes of our own journeys, but at the same time, like we can also find ourselves becoming the villain, whether it be doubting our values, ourselves, and worst of all is doubting our passion of like what we truly want to be and what the good that you know our passion can bring to the world, as well as like also ourselves. And I strongly believe in like passion as like our way of life and what truly defines us and our character whenever we step out that door and meet the world. And given like a lot of like things that we have to endure growing up, whether it be good, bad, or ugly, or worse, it's like it really does break us a lot of times. It's just we just don't want to admit it, and we begin to have self doubts of like just probably not even gonna make it. So yeah, I'm still pursuing filmmaking, but you know what? It's like just like real talks though. I don't plan on giving up anytime soon. And for those of you guys who are still, making movies, writing movies, it's like I am very proud of all of you guys. And I truly mean that. And I continue to, have more real talks with all you guys. And that's the thing that I think we're gonna, make it big someday is that we all keep it real. And I hope you guys will, continue this journey along with me too as filmmakers. And, we just keep the cameras rolling.